Even after counseling couples for 30 plus years, I would never say that I can totally and completely understand how someone else is feeling. As a counselor, I listen to other people. I accept them where they are, and then I help them toward healing. That works well for me at the counseling center. I don't have to put myself in their shoes to be a good counselor. But at home, it's different. There are times when it is really beneficial for me to try to put myself in Nancy's place and imagine as best I can how she's feeling. Husbands and wives are different in so many ways. We have our different perspectives. Our feelings and our emotions and how we respond to the daily pressures of life may also differ. That's the way that God wired us. We are different by design. The problems come when we begin to judge each other's differences. We may see the way we feel and respond to situations as the right way and see our spouse's way as the wrong way. That alone will usually cause conflict. There have been times in our marriage when I wish that Nancy was just like me, that God had made her feel and respond just like I do, which is another good reason why I would make a terrible, terrible God. If we were the same, we would not experience the growth in marriage that these differences give us. I know that over the years of our marriage, when we truly embrace our differences, we understand each other better. We grow individually, and our marriage grows. It seems that most women seem to be more relational than their husbands. And some wives, well, they're just a lot more relational than their husband is. One of the areas of life where Nancy and I are different is in relationships. I value my relationships with my friends, and most have been really good friends over the years. I have some lifelong friends that I cherish. Same is true of Nancy and her friends, but we differ in how we handle conflict in those relationships. If one of my friends says something harsh to me, or maybe they don't show up if we're supposed to meet for lunch, I might be bothered a little bit, but I get over it pretty quickly. They handle the situation. Maybe I'll wait a day or two and then I contact them and see what they have to say, and we talk things out, and there is seldom much emotion on either side. And at least 90% of the time, we work things out and we are best buds again. I remember back when I was in 5th grade and I had an argument with one of my really, really good friends. But he wanted to meet me after school to fight it out. Me, I was all in. The school day ended and I waited with some of my other friends on the playground. He never showed up. I was elated, a victory by default. And my other friends were there to witness this no-show fight. I got on my bike pretty happy, and when I was about halfway home, there in the street was my no-show friend, and he had the biggest and strongest guy in class standing with him. Well, the fight went on, but it didn't go my way because every time I was getting the best of my friend, the big guy stepped in. And the fight, well, it finally ended with my friend sitting on top of me, and he was flanked by the big guy. Now, what had happened next, I think, is a great example of male and female differences with relationships. The big guy, he went home. He left us. And my friend and I, well, we lived close to each other, so we began our journey home together. I walked my bike, he walked with me. And you know what? By the time we reached our streets, we had our arms around each other's shoulders. We stayed close friends for years. The first time in our marriage that Nancy was emotional over a relationship with a friend, I handled it so bad, just like most of us as guys do. I said things like, "Get over it. She's not that good of a friend anyway, and it's not worth getting upset about." I thought I solved her problem, but then she said, "You're not listening. I don't want you to figure this out for me. That's not what I need from you." I give Nancy a lot of credit. She tried to tell me what she was thinking and feeling. I just didn't hear her. I was so sure she was making a big deal out of nothing that I basically ignored her. Honestly, in those early years of marriage, I was a really slow learner. It took a long time before the idea came to me that her feelings and her emotions and how she viewed situations might actually be valid. I think the difference came when I finally began to listen to her, and I really tried to hear what she was saying. Today, well, there's still times, honestly, that I don't get Nancy. I don't get her responses. But I think I listen better. And I consciously try to put myself in her shoes. I ask myself, what does this situation look like through Nancy's eyes? And how is her perspective different from mine? Those two questions, coupled with taking time to listen and process before I respond, have made a huge difference for us. I can truly empathize with her without judging. So what about you? What about you and your spouse? What if you took time to put yourself in their shoes? What if you really listened to them when they were sharing something with you that was really important to them? What if you ask yourself, how does this look like through their eyes? What if you acknowledge that you would handle the situation in a different way, but you don't judge their way of handling it? It changed so much for us, so much for me in my marriage. So why don't you try it?